This episode of the Bayou Dragons podcast is proudly brought to you by Dragon Industrial Wrap.
Fierce. Ready for any project, no matter how big or how small. Dragon Industrial Wrap.
And we're live. Episode something. Episode 58, I believe, of the Bayou Dragons podcast.
Verifying that.
You're live
right
from
now.
Jenkin's farm, Jenkin's shop.
Jenkins shop.
Got a bunch of broke down shit in the background.
Yeah, we have this is the most rustic scenery that we've had behind us.
They actually work.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually.
We just moved that mower right there a little while ago.
Yeah, so we just did a fantastic hunt
at a new blind on the farm.
The Taj Mahal.
Got a 4-man in about 2 hours.
If you're listening to the show, welcome in. You need to jump on to youtube.com/Bayou Dragons if you want to have a peek, watch the stream, watch the video. We took you guys through a little bit of the blind to start the episode off. We got some clips from that, so go over there and check that out, and you'll be able to see this beautiful setup that we've got today. So
Porter looked like he had fun.
I had a great time.
Good breakfast.
There you go. Oh, yeah, no. I was going to talk about the whole experience, and then we'll plug some GoPro footage of hopefully some birds falling.
I hope that worked out really well.
I would look at the preview on the GoPro just randomly.
There also was a group of about 12 teal that came right at the GoPro, and I'm not positive we got more than one out of that group.
There's a good chance, but I'm hoping that was it was pouring ass rain today.
That's not what it's about.
Nasty.
That's really not what it's about.
It's not what it's about.
You know what it is about? It's about the Mets, baby.
Love the Mets.
Love the Mets.
Yeah, hit a home run, Mets.
So the idea this morning was that we take you guys into the blind with us. We do a podcast, have a couple different angles so you can see what we're doing in the blind. Just kind of have some, let you guys in on the fun, do some blind chatter, for those of y'all that don't get to waterfowl hunt, kind of show y'all what it's about and stuff we talk about and all the...
Show you how that animator works.
Yeah, that animator. We'll get to that. I got a hell of a story about that animator today. But the way things played out, we had everything in there with us. We had everything set up, but it just started pouring rain. So we did the best we could.
Got 6 inches overnight.
Yeah, we went ahead and scrapped the podcast for the hunt.
Shit, this is 8 inches.
100% it is.
Yeah.
Bit of a follow-up here. We're post-game. This is the post-game presser. We finished out. Had a hell of a morning, so welcome in.
Yeah, so before we get into it, today's guest, dear friend of ours, 2021 Young Farmer of the Year, just a all-around good old boy. He's a rancher, local farming legend, Justin Jenkins.
Ex-rice farmer.
Right.
Had some
Hung
applause.
up the hat right after the win.
Yeah, well,
Just retired.
Yeah, well,
Went
after
out on top.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the greats should have, and they didn't, and they lingered.
Yeah.
Elijah
You'll end up
went to the Raptors.
People
no
call you
good reason.
washed. They'll say you're washed. He should have left while he was on top.
And I went out.
you went out, and then
top.
now you're just doing the hay and
I've
everything.
retired.
Is that
You're retired.
Vikings?
I don't do anything.
It was like
anymore.
Vikings Brett Favre. Should have just left with the Packers when he was up there.
But Justin has had this idea since we started the podcast. He's been wanting us to do it, and of course, Mother Nature didn't let us actually be recording the podcast And while we're talking shooting birds, the whole 9 yards, but 6 inches yesterday, and it rained all morning, just was not ideal for the situation we got.
Yeah. So, but
Big
we're putting
J.
y'all on notice. It's coming. It's got everything. We had it all set up this morning. It's coming. We're going to do the blind podcast, and it's going to be awesome.
And this is no bullshit blind we're talking. We're talking 8 people easily, a back door, a front door.
You can have people changing out.
Yeah, you have people changing out. You have a griddle in there, Blackstone griddle. You have a pit in there. You have just everything, honestly.
Gonna have a TV eventually. We're doing full solar panels. It's a work in progress. Wait for the next couple years.
Yeah, no, it's...
Jackery ain't got shit on this.
Ooh, this segment was brought to you by Jackery.
Jackery, that's the
was
power.
gonna power.
Yeah, it's gonna be the power.
My first impression this morning going into that blind was you don't see a lot of those blinds in Southeast Texas.
No doubt.
You see a lot of skid blinds. A lot of this stuff that people hunt and guide on
Pits.
is leased. So you see a lot of skid blinds, see a lot of pits,
Yep.
stuff that is meant to be removed after season.
And we built it down on the backside in a ditch, but it's actually the high that drains 2 different directions. So it's tucked in, so it's low profile. Fits right along like the fence line. There's barbed wire fence with trees, and so you can't. The birds were right in our face.
And thanks to that barbed wire fence, I will have to buy a new pair of frog togs. But yeah, all together successful, man.
Yeah, it started off. I mean, as soon as the sun came up, that shooting up north started happening, and they just started doing it.
They
Like,
did. There was some that cut in on us really good.
There was some real good.
The weird thing about that is I felt like the big ducks did it way dirtier than the
They
teal.
did.
They did.
But then we have that one group of teal that come in and act like big ducks right towards the end, kind of at a glance.
Well, because they had that one pintail with them.
Yeah, that was
Literally,
funky.
they were a mile high and spiraled in like a group of pintail. We thought they were a group of pintail, and then realized it's 20 teal and one pintail.
Well, because you're doing like this, you realize they're right there, and everybody's looking at them kind of like this.
Yeah.
Behind the netting.
But that damn netting got me twice today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man.
gotta love it, gotta have it for
Gotta
a
have
little
it,
for some
but
cover. But you got to
ultimate
rip up.
consumer.
It's amazing what a few square bales will do too for your blind. You just kind of just throw it.
And if
all
you're
over.
looking for square bells for your blind,
and time to plug that, huh?
come on over to Jenkins Farm. Boy, do we
Got
got
'em
you.
piled up.
This podcast is brought to you by Jenkins Farm Square Bell Hay, the best grass in the biz.
For your duck blind
These
at
squares,
this moment.
these squares
No
bales
grass.
will find
Yeah.
this side of the Mason-Dixon. But no, the funniest, the biggest testament, I think, to the concealment of the blind was the fact that Porter was wearing a reflective vest.
Yes.
He had an FR reflective raincoat
I had
that he
a
brought
Viking.
from work. And he's wearing, I mean, it's straight up, you see guys on the railroad wearing this thing, so they don't get hit by a train. And he was just, ducks didn't even see him.
No, it was it kept me dry enough, and it is because we were so hidden. I mean, literally, we were so hidden yesterday when we went to go set everything up for this podcast. I drove past it, like no shit. Rance goes, "It's back there." I was
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
Big daylight.
This thing is pretty concealed, bro. It has a license to carry, and I figured we might as well give the ducks a fighting chance. So I wore a reflective vest.
Sure.
And
That's fair.
red, white, and blue shorts. So
It was almost like it was his, like a fantasy punishment outfit. Like, oh, you got to go duck hunting in a reflective vest. Well, joke's on you. I got the best fucking blind in Southeast Texas.
yeah, dude, the water definitely did help. The rain did help it. Like, I was not skeptical yesterday, but I was like, man, that's just like real far out there,
For anybody not listening, like that not in Southeast Texas, we got a shitload of rain overnight from a cold front
Just
that we
trained on top
that we
of
didn't
us.
get the
And
cold
rain and
though.
rain and rain.
We
Yeah,
didn't
not
get
at
the
all.
cold.
As hot as
We
could
just got
be.
all of the rain. It is literally. I know I'm wearing this jacket right now.
Yo, no.
but it is 75 degrees out
all
here
day long at 75.
and I really think that helped the birds though. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? I think
north
that
wind
front coming down
made like a
pushed
Yeah.
because there
Ass.
hasn't been that as many birds as was shot this morning.
Yeah.
The farm has not been indicative of that in the last week.
Sure.
We were holding probably 5,000 birds, and then that
And
was.
I don't know if anybody else has bald eagle problems.
Oh wow! Yeah,
My Lord.
yeah.
Are they the
Insane.
actual, like the caracaras or
No,
bald eagles?
No,
We
dude.
have one. It's a big, big, beautiful monster of a bird, and he stands on the power lines. There's a power line, a major power line that runs from, honestly, I don't even know where. I guess Winnie to that direction.
Timbuktu.
Sure. I've never traveled it. They just stand on top of it, and the birds just stay stirred and stay stirred. When we get geese here, they'll just swarm the geese. They'll go kill 3, 4, 5 of them, let like all of them lay but one, go eat one of them.
Yeah,
And
dude.
all the geese will leave.
They while watching those eagles, we have a bunch of them up the lake on Toledo, and they will get those coot
Yeah.
in piles,
Stir 'em.
and they'll
Oh, yeah.
they'll
Yeah, yeah,
stir
yeah.
them. What
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do
yeah.
is when they have those juveniles with them, they
Yeah.
train them, and like if they get one, then it's like a whole deal. They like fly over the flock, drop a dead one, and then the juvenile goes in and tries to catch it. You know,
Absolutely.
And-
And there was a juvenile at one point. There was a pair. As far as I know, one of the other pair died down on 1985, like 2 years ago. And it's been this single bird that's been back. But for my entire childhood, we didn't have bald eagles. There wasn't a bald eagle here.
well, you know why they're coming back. Yeah. Thank you, Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make bald eagles great again.
Well, whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
I would imagine that.
They're really screwing the ducks up
I would
there.
They
imagine
really
a
do.
bird
They're
that
not
damn
fun.
size could come and pick my little dog up. And
Oh,
just
they're
haul ass with it.
big. They're such a big bird.
It's crazy because you never really see them up close.
So while we're on that subject, the other thing that we see here more and more and more is the damn cranes, sandhill cranes. We didn't have cranes here for forever, and now more and more and more and more and more every year. Piling
Yeah,
up.
and we can't hunt 'em.
shoot them. We
I
can't
know.
do a damn
Fair,
thing
man.
about it.
if
But
you travel over towards like the China area, we see them pretty regular over there.
and they have been. That's where they really started kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, coming to, and now they've grown. Reached out to. More and more every year.
We're one of like very few counties in the state of Texas
And there's a
that
large,
can't shoot a
there's- so there's
sandhill
it
crane.
goes to
No
like
season.
the other side of Katy, and then there's a large gap I believe that goes and picks back up, so you can hunt them between Katy and like Corpus Christi, and then from that point farther south, there's another big zone where you can't touch them.
Yeah.
But there is a gap there. I don't know. I might be speaking out of turn. I think it's a breeding ground. Is it a breeding ground or is it the whooping crane presence?
I believe they.
Crossover the whooping cranes, from what I've been told.
Presence.
Oh,
That
okay.
If you can't tell the difference between a real big white bird and a real big gray bird, you ought not be hunting. But that's neither
crane
here nor
is
there.
massive.
But I will-
compared to
I will
a
say-
Big,
sandhill.
well bigger.
And I've
It's
known
crazy.
Redhead.
like wildlife, refuges and stuff. If there is a whooping crane sighted somewhere, they'll shut the whole damn place down.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming in here to hunt.
And we've had a couple. There've been a couple over the course of time. That was here a couple years ago. We had 3, and
Yeah.
I hadn't seen them in a while. But it does, yeah,
But it's crazy.
rad.
Yeah, be rad.
red.
It's crazy the amount, like when those birds were here, it's crazy the amount of people that were like stopped. I remember they were in these fields right here, this first field one time, and there was like literally 6 or 7 people stopped out on 1663, like watching those birds. It's
Yeah.
just, it's
Yeah.
crazy like how
I do believe
people,
I do believe that was part of the reason that they got the fella out here that shot one, because they have a following. They're able to be tracked, right? And so there's a large we get a large influx of bird watchers in Southeast Texas, in Anahuac, because we have a big abundance of migratory birds that come through this area.
From what I was told, that Chambers County is the second, most diverse population of migratory birds behind Brazoria County. That's just on the other side of Galveston. Yeah,
So there's
right
a
there.
ton of eyes on the birds in general out here, and then whooping cranes being endangered, and also, like I said, being able to be tracked.
And I'm good with all that. It's just, at some point in time, maybe if you get way too much of a population, you might have to do something about it. But
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, of the
sandhills, just
Sandhills,
start
yeah,
piling up,
dude,
eventually.
Such
They might
wise
not.
birds,
You never
too.
know.
They're wising up. If you go farther north, they're getting, and I don't know if it was just maybe a little bit of a rough patch for us, but they were just so hard to hunt, man. They're smart. They're old. They live for a long, long time, and they're starting to see more and more people hunt for them. And it's just like it was when you talk to the guys that have been hunting for 40 years, and they say, "Man, we used to shoot so many more ducks. They used to do it so much harder, and they were a lot easier to go out and hunt. We'd hunt them over this and that and the other, and just smash them, right?"
Well,
Cranes are getting to be more of a hunted bird, the sandhills, and they're just
and
I did a fun sandhill hunt last year where tumbleweeds.
yeah.
Tumbleweeds
yeah.
were brushed up against the fence line.
That's how
That's
we done
all
it.
we grabbed. I mean, we were buried in there. They could not see a thing.
The-
it was too cool.
a bunch of those guides though were just
Mexico.
saying that they're like one of the first birds to kind of get wiser to the silhouette game, because like Dive Bomb has that shit on lock, but like you can still kill mallards and Canadas and shit over silhouettes pretty easily, but like the sandhills are starting to become a little bit wiser, so they throw out some full bodies out there with them. It's just, I mean, I don't know how much they are overpriced because we can't hunt them, so I wouldn't buy any sandhill
Sure.
crane, but I imagine
couldn't tell you.
they probably sell them by the threes.
You know
and
how
they're
much a
probably-
box of condoms used to cost back then?
Last year on the sandhill hunt we went, they used almost all, like probably 80% full bodies.
Yeah,
A
you
whole
just
bunch
you
of
just
them.
kind of have the birds are dumb, but they're not dumb.
And
Like
if it like, I remember they had like this sock tight, but they were like 3D plastic.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They weren't like full bodies, but they were like
that's what we used
like
to.
way more defined.
I think
And it was
another-
crazy, like setting up the A-frame on a fence line and then just putting a bunch of
Pile and tumbleweed
just
on it.
piling tumbleweed on it,
Tumbleweed.
just sitting there. I thought that was the wildest
Just walk
thing.
down
It's like-
100 yards and grab as much as you
Yeah.
can
We
and
would
come
just
back.
drive.
Yeah.
So we would go the night before and we would drive all up and down the red dirt roads and just grab tumbleweed off the side of the road.
So different from down
Load
here.
The entire
So different from
box
down here.
trailer full.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did, we dropped the door and just roll tumbleweed out the back, pile it up, then go set the bond and just dump it on.
And
top
that's
of us.
I've done multiple humps up north. Like one year, it was tumbleweed hunt. Everything we did, all our layout blinds, tumbleweed. The next year it snowed the whole time, so all we did was just scoop snow up. The next year we're hunting purely corn, so you're taking corn stalks.
Yeah.
I got in our trailer. There's still leftover tumbleweed and corn from like 3 years ago. You know, just
It's wild too because like going off of what it's the dynamic of the region changed, the industry in that area changed. You know, certain things came and went, and now there's no longer a big presence of certain crops in that area. So you have to change your hunting game because of that. It was just crazy how that affected everything.
and then down here we
It's
just
going to be wild to see what happens down here.
No,
$14 rice. We'll see if the rice crop continues down here or if our moist soil and just wetlands in general can continue. There wasn't rice here 250, 300 years ago, and those birds still migrated down here. So surely they're going to still come, but this rice industry is kind of crumbling around here.
yeah.
I think your rice industry can kind of go away, like this for an example, like, but if your rice industry goes away and then that gets replaced with concrete, like Katy, for example,
Yeah, then it
which
goes
was
away.
the
Your
number
habitat
one
goes away.
Katy Prairie.
snow goose flyway ever,
Yeah.
right there. Once they built malls and they did all that, they started building warehouses all over that place.
Build a Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Because I
may
remember
change before
even
the
when
rest
the
of it
rice had
changes.
stopped over there,
Sure.
there was still a bunch of geese
Right.
until they built all that shit. You know what I mean? So I kind of look
Amazon.
at it that way. Yeah. Igloo.
Igloo.
Yeah.
Just
Goya.
warehouse.
Yeah.
I know Andrew can
Rooms
sit
to
here and
go.
talk all day and talk about the Katy Prairie. He spent a lot of time out
Yeah.
there. That's one of his favorite places. But
Yeah.
no, it's amazing to see where we've come and where we're going. I mean, some good, some bad, but hopefully for the sake of our hobbies and what we love to do, it continues to thrive. And being in Southeast Texas, all the way, the whole rice belt, we got some of the best teal hunting in the world.
Yep. No doubt.
Just
Lights
tons,
out.
tons of traffic through here. So
I love it.
Yeah. No, we had a hell of a banger of a hunt. Oh, we also the birds. We're gonna go ahead and put this on record. The birds were they were flying. They weren't decoying this morning. And I'm saying like just doing it straight up dirty. But then we broke out the secret weapon.
the secret weapon.
The secret
Until
weapon.
it got snapped in half.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, so here it comes. So
Buy a duck.
shout out, you guys, if you follow the show, you follow the Bayou Dragons, you've heard about the animator, right? Basically, the animator is an attachment that you can add to a spinning wing decoy that creates a water sound.
It
and
did. It
water
made a
motion,
sound. You could. Yeah.
on the top of the water. It uses a little plate. I can't remember. I don't know. George will know the word. He'll probably be in the comments. But it uses a little cavitation plate. There's the word. to kind of stir the water, you can either
That lapping noise.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kinda
the lapping noise is real
it sounds
realistic.
like wings on the water,
Yeah.
and it's a natural sound, and that's kind of where they found their niche in that. They stumbled upon that, and they said, man, this works, right? It's been like a funny thing. It's been almost like a gimmicky thing that they've been trying to sell people on. The fact of the matter is, you hear it and you think, oh, it's just another gimmick. Well, it's not, right? It's just the first impression that you think of. Dude, I hunted over this thing, and I was like, I'm sold. Done. Like, called George. Love this thing. Today, I have another testament. I haven't even got to call George and tell him about it.
They were full bore landing.
So
wind.
we're sitting over 2 spinning wing mojos right now, and I've got the King Mallard mojo in the blind, and it was just one of those days where I wasn't quite sure if this is the day for it. It's raining, it's a little bit windy, and I'm not really knowing, is this going to work? Rance goes, man, we need something. They're passing by. They're right where we want them, but they're not quite finishing. We need something. Go throw that animator out there. I said, yes, sir, coach, put me in. Ran that sucker out there. We ran it, sucked all our birds in. I mean, it was stupid. They started doing it real dirty after that. And it was a clear turning point. And it was as good of a selling point as you could have.
Yeah, we probably
for
gave
the
it, 30 minutes at the beginning?
Yeah, no doubt. So much to the point where we have one single gadwall come in, and he came so hard and heavy on that mojo with the animator on it that we shot the bird, and he was running mock Jesus into that damn spread, and on his way down, he
weighing 11 pounds.
He smokes the mojo, breaks it off.
Big
of the
ass
pole.
dad
Big
wall.
dude over
That's
there
right
on the
there.
on the side.
YouTube.com/Bayou Dragons for the visual.
Yeah.
This guy comes in,
Smoked
gets
it.
shot, and absolutely drills the mojo, knocking it complete, snapped it off the pole.
Broke it. Clean plastic break.
Rance looks to me and he says, man, did that thing just hit the mojo? I said, oh, shit, I don't know. And then I looked out there and I was like, where's the mojo? And I just see a little green head sticking up out of the water.
It between them?
smoked
It's
the
like 10
mojo, dude.
feet. I'm not exaggerating. It was
Surely
at
that's
least
on.
10 feet.
We had pulled the.
It was 10 feet away from the pole. The pole's sticking up. But a testament to mojo. I go out there. I left it sitting in the water for maybe 10, 15 minutes before we went back out there and ran the dog to go pick up birds. There was so much shit flying after that. But I pulled that mojo up out of the water, and then wings started beating. Yeah,
The animator just slapping the
animator was
shit.
flinging all around, like going crazy, but that was badass. All right, I can't wait to hear George's reaction to me telling him that story.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Pretty
today
solid.
was a very ducky day.
Oh, it was.
And
First day of weather through teal season,
Yeah,
through
for
duck
real. We've
season
been
to
dry.
this point.
We've never
The
been in
first day of
November
weather.
shifting
Yeah, for
water
real.
around.
The first day of real weather.
the most ducky day, and we still couldn't just get them to fully, slip the ring on and say I do. But the animator definitely,
But coming back to that blind and the way that it's set up, it's not like you said when you're traveling and you're able to go and set up an A-frame or layouts or whatever. You can't set up with the wind. You're in a
dedicated blind.
Yeah, you're
It's
in a
already built.
dedicated blind.
Yeah.
It's there, and that's where it's going to stay.
So the wind was different. I mean, it's built for south wind, so the birds come into your face. They were wrapping around us all morning. We had some wicked shots. We had a bunch of whiffs that, not whiffs on shooting, that they came around like, oh man, there went 12.
you're having to
It's-
be
oh,
it's
man,
doing
there
some of these
Probably the
shots.
number one hunt in a long time I've had that we got shit on that so many times, and it was just funny.
Shit on a good
Still
bit.
crushed them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
that's
still
what I'm
shot our
saying,
4-man
man. It's just
limit.
still
And then
funny.
how about
plus a coot.
walking out, being done? Rance is going to get the truck. We're positive we have 24. I've already texted everybody, got our 4-man, and we go to counting. And we only have
I'm out there in
23.
the spread.
Rance
Dog.
turns around, comes walking back.
I'm out there in the spread, dog sniffing her ass off, trying to win something. I'm certain there's a bird.
Certain.
Here.
I was too.
Yeah,
hell?
I could tell that none of us were really good at math. Everybody counted, there's
Anahuac-
one more.
Anahuac class of 2005,
Hey,
baby.
farming, we could talk to farming up all day long.
That's probably why I was bad at farming.
mathematics.
Yeah, that's why.
There's something there.
But you went out on top still, regardless. So it doesn't matter if
Shout
there
out
was.
to Sam Houston State University too.
Thank God for that Pythagorean theorem they taught us.
Yeah, A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
You bet.
Too bad I can't count to 24.
Yeah, Dad.
But we just waited it out. Justin whipped us up some fresh tacos.
Did. I brought the corn. I brought some big flour tortillas. Never broke them out because it's not right without corn tortillas.
Well, yeah, we had.
Corn really did it.
Yeah,
yeah.
they're much better.
I'm talking. I had a full blown breakfast, and then as soon as we hit that 24th bird, this podcast is sponsored by Twisted Tea. Started cracking those.
We were successfully done with the hunt before we consumed alcohol.
We
Public
were
service
100%
announcement, just letting y'all
done.
know.
We made sure of it.
Responsibility is
Yes.
top of our list.
Don't be dumb.
I've got a 9-year-old that I'm trying to teach all of that stuff to, so I've got to actually be on my P's and Q's about it.
Yeah. I'm
He's pretty malleable right
Pretty
now.
flight risk.
he,
I know. I
he
still,
still swings
he's
that gun
pretty,
around like it's just a BB gun. And
I
I'm
do
like,
wanna
"Hey,
have-
brother, come on.
I want to have Jack on. Like the next time we do
Yeah,
like when we successfully do the hunt podcast, I want
That's
Jack in
fine.
there and just mic him up the whole time.
He's just going to talk the whole time. And also, he will, if there is a purple martin flying by, oh. No. Every single snipe, oh. Nope, it's just a snipe, bud.
Oh, that's just the long beak teal.
Goodness
It's an ibis.
gracious.
Yeah, there are grown ass men that do that to this
Ibis.
day.
Yeah, there are. You're correct.
Well, that was like the first pack that came in this morning, but not because I can't identify birds. It's because I'm legally blind.
Yeah, so you
He
can
took a
see-
giant bite
big
into an
pack of
ashtray.
teal that came
just
in, and Justin's like, "We
whipped
got him over the
hard,
deal."
right? It just cut hard.
And I said,
beautiful.
"Nah, them are blackbirds."
Oh man, blackbirds. And I went, what the fuck are you talking about? It's a group of teal. It's
It was sure
clearly a
enough
group of
teal.
Rick came right into it.
But Rance would be like, "What's that? Don't take my word for it. I'm blind.
I'm blind.
Look, let me repeat myself. I'm blind." But we
Barely.
still barely.
Barely.
P.O.P.
Love you, mama.
Holding to die. We successfully with a blind man.
Hey,
Also,
and he could shoot for a blind man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
much. For that, he made that one shot count every time.
there's a blind man, right? There's a blind man right?
Blind man, right?
walking through a fish market.
Wasn't one group in? Rance had a shotgun malfunction, and
Not one time. Grant shot a single shot. This is a shout out to Monarch Shells.
Shout out to Monarchs.
it's got to be the Monarchs, right?
yeah,
He
they're
switched
fucking
shells.
trash.
He switched over to
Yeah,
some
they're
fast seal or
trash,
something, and it
dude.
just went to work. In an
Absolute,
870.
absolute trash.
Yeah.
Somebody
New
gave
shells.
me.
New,
Somebody,
clean,
hey,
pretty.
somebody gave me those shells, and I'm gonna tell you what. I think I'm gonna go give them back to
You
them.
should. Christmas is coming.
Fucking yeah, and
Good
tell
Christmas
them and
gift.
tell them you don't care about me or my family. You gave me a
You wanted
fucking
us to starve, didn't you?
yeah. You wanted me to fucking starve to death.
You know, you really upset my brother.
Yeah,
Like you really.
yeah.
upset
You
my
did.
brother.
He's upset.
He's still upset. He's still talking about it today.
And if it weren't for that coot, we would be starving to death.
yeah, and y'all might the people that are listening to this and they're like, "Oh, dude, why do they have a pool, dude?" Don't knock it till you try it, dog. I'm telling you, the gizzard.
We're gonna
on
clean
this-
that thing live here in a minute.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull the gizzard square out of
We're gonna
its
show
chest.
y'all what that meat looks
Y'all
like.
stick around. These birds are getting clean live on the podcast.
yeah.
We're going to teach y'all how to do it right if you're not an avid duck hunter.
Do a couple pluckings, couple breastings.
But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some more here in just a minute.
Right, we're back. This is NPR.
Okay, guys, took a quick break. We're back now. Real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Jackson Hedrick for making me this nice little duck tote, man. Jackson, if you're watching, listening, really appreciate you, brother. Strap's solid, as you can see, holding you a little stud Drake pintail and a couple teal and a spoonie. So spoonie was first. Feel like it's an honor.
Good bird.
It's an honor to have a spoonie on your strap. So, but hey, guys, we're breaking into a little bit different section of the episode. We're gonna have Mr. Keaton and Mr. Brad come on. Say again. Keaton Kelton. Middle name fucking. So Keaton fucking Kelton.
Something like that.
That's the way he
Kelton
signed his
fucking
name on the
Graham,
blind.
everybody. Kelton
Kelton Graham.
On Instagram, it's Kelton Graham.
And Brad Daniels are going to step in. They're going to tell you a little bit about the Jenkins farm and
And
kind of the
B-Red
place.
Daniels here.
Hold on.
This is my partner in this little partner of crime deal we've got going on out here at Jenkins Farm.
So yeah, while they're doing that, while they're having a little chat, Porter and I are going to start cleaning some birds. So if you're watching, youtube.com/Bayou Dragons, we'll show you how to break them down. Rance, you want to come get on the mic, brother? Yeah.
Kelton, grab your mic. I want to know how your hunt went this morning.
My hunt was really good.
Put that thing up near your mouth.
Really good.
Good.
How good was it?
Where were you at?
I was in the H blind.
So we have, how many blinds do we have on the farm right now?
7. We have 7 blinds.
Cool deal. And we had 4 hunting up north this morning, north opener.
Yep,
We were on the south side, which was the anomaly of the whole farm. Never had a blind down there.
Turned out great, though.
Turned out great.
Awesome spot.
Yeah. Boy, I think Porter liked breakfast the best.
Plus it
What'd y'all
rain
cook?
6 inches, and
We
you
I
got to
was
sit under a
gonna I was
roof.
gonna cook all kinds of other stuff, but the blind was flooded from 6 inches of rain, so we had to change plans. All of the motherboard equipment and the mic equipment and all that shit was all floating in a Yeti bag in the back when we got there. Water was running over the road into the blind.
I got way more rain than I
Oh,
did
it was
down
dumb.
south.
It trained. It started at midnight and it just didn't stop.
5 inches,
Rain,
dude.
But golly, I think y'all got hit a little bit more than we did.
Oh, it was worth
It
it.
was worth.
It was
braving
worth
the
it.
storm for.
It was worth
It's
it.
fantastic.
Smashed.
Yeah, we had
Brad hunted
Yeah.
the way down south.
yeah, we had 6 groups out this morning, and everybody shot them.
Nice.
It was really good. It's hard to complain about things like that,
Yeah.
especially this time of the day. And
With no weather.
yeah,
Hot weather.
Yeah, 80 degrees.
We were sitting on the south side, and at one point we were like, Justin, I think said, he's like, well, I guess it was worth sitting in a pit blind in the rain today.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
just- because
When we waited.
we're sitting
well, hell,
over
it
there.
was like 15 minutes after shooting time before the first shots went
Yeah,
off.
yeah, it was a while.
And the rain didn't help that, but,
But
it,
it-
was still, we were like, man.
It was the
we're gonna hear
overcast.
it.
I don't
Y'all
think
got
they
bop.
hear
people?
Oh, big time.
Oh man,
I don't think they could see that well.
thundering so bad down on the coast. It was crazy. I could barely hear anybody, and every time it lit up, then I'd hear rumbles. But it was ducks in the sky nonstop. And a lot of big ducks. I seen a lot of big ducks.
Lots of big ducks. The
A lot
gray
of y'all-
ducks were
y'all
cool.
killed mainly teal.
We kill
up
mainly
here,
teal.
but I mean, I seen a lot of gadwall. I was impressed because I haven't been seeing that many gray ducks. I've seen quite a few gray ducks. Pintails. Y'all see any bunch of pintail up here?
Not a bunch.
I didn't see them. I know they're around. They didn't move this morning though. Somebody got them.
Mostly gadwall and spoons were the big ducks.
This guy broke our animator.
Oh, he smashed it.
Broke it
Dude,
in
no.
half. Hit it.
No, hit the like the
Mojo.
animator goes on the wing,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, that
Right.
that
On the
paddle.
Mojo.
Yeah.
What's it called, the King Mojo?
That duck smoked
King Mallard.
the mojo, like the mallard mojo, just smoked it and broke it off the pole, dude. Like that's what we're
changed
talking
the
about.
game
That's
when we were
pretty
hunting,
good
though.
testament to just sucking it
Really
in.
did.
Huh?
Did they start flying better?
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as it went away.
No. As soon as we put it out.
Oh, yeah.
We waited 30, 45
Yeah.
minutes to put it out. We put it out. They started really
They
cupping
actually
and starting
did
landing
start
right at
decoying. I
it.
was
They were landing
surprised.
right at it, too. They were
So-
coming right at it.
Yeah, there's multiple. We had to hold off.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Hell,
I'm a believer in that thing.
Porter smoked at least 6 decoys.
I had a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, you get on your
That's
It's
on your bigger
so
hunts,
hard
you're
to
gonna
knot
have
in a
that.
pit when you're at water level.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a water level in a pit, it's really hard to knot, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're eye level.
Yeah.
Bring back plenty of sunken decoys out of that blind.
Yeah, them things are getting expensive.
We were talking about if the rice market's going to hold together and whether or not birds will still come. But I think that the coast is going to bring birds regardless.
The rice is gone. Everybody needs to quit worrying about rice. Y'all need to worry about
development.
moist soil. Hear me. If you're listening to me, my name is Brad Daniels, and if you're on the Gulf Coast of Mexico,
Brad.
you need to go after moist soil. Flood fallow fields, disc it, turn it over. Moist soil is constantly producing invertebrates, different types of seed grasses, and it'll produce on the coast until January.
And the millet
you're
that
a
grew in the
fool
last couple
if
of
you're
years.
not using it, because everybody's like, "Oh, Jenkins, yes, we have rice. Yes, we hunt rice," but we kill all of our ducks, and people don't realize and understand it until they hunt. We're hunting moist soil, and we're shooting.
And it's weird how some of our blinds, our big stationary pit blinds, are in fields that we will go back and forth on rotation 3 years. So we'll be rice 1 year,
Correct.
and then fallow for 2, and you can see a difference now that we've had them there established for some of these blinds. Some of those big pits have been there 10 years now.
10.
We've seen several big shifts and seen what the difference is. Man, those moist soil years, especially at 148, the age.
absolutely.
Yeah.
crawfish hole.
Don't get me wrong. I would love
Crawfish hole's huntable again.
I would love for the rice. I would love for the rice market to come back. Don't get me wrong. It's still there. The ground's just sitting
As
there.
I know,
but-
7th generation rice farmer that's not farming rice anymore. I promise you, I'd love for the rice market to come back.
Exactly.
It's the only thing I know. And it's my blood, but
But we need to quit. We need to quit focusing on grain and start focusing on moist soil and just having places for birds to sit. And you don't hunt it. Most people
and
don't do
fence it
that.
and put cows on it.
That's it. And rotate it. Flood it. What's good for a duck is good for a cow.
What do they? They don't have much rice in Port O'Connor, do they? Plenty of ducks, plenty of cows.
They got some rice down there.
There was no such thing as rice farm the way it is now 75 years ago. You know, I mean, and think about what these birds used to do here just on the habitat that was created here, just the natural habitats of these coastlines.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, I was like, and the development, which takes away moist soil, you know what I mean? Just is because I was basically saying Katie, even after the rice was gone, like I was telling them earlier, until they started building warehouses everywhere, it wasn't. The ducks were still there, the geese were still there,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And then once that happened, it was all gone. So it's really that goes hand in hand with what you're saying of the moist soil, taking all that away, really kills the habitat.
Really kills it. Really kills it.
Lights at Stuckey's on Kelton.
Yeah. Yep.
Hard to beat.
Man,
You don't.
That's never happened. That's 18-wheelers.
as long as the 18-wheelers
stay over there,
down,
they'll knock
it's
every one of
fine.
them back down.
But
I hope they do. Not half of
thank
them. down.
God,
It's been dark the last few years.
thank God they made them take the sign down.
Oh my
No,
God.
that thing was so bright.
The Las Vegas sign was, oh my God.
You could see it from Anahuac clear as day.
I just remember, I mean, that was when the sign first got there is whenever, first really,
The
really
reservoir
started
didn't hold
running
anything
hot.
anymore.
No. And it was literally.
I shot it with the 223 like 3 times.
Oh, God.
Put that on record.
It's been out for a long time. I don't think it was the 223 that did it.
So what breakfast did you guys cook this morning?
Eggs and sausage. Was gonna cook more, but we didn't have any room. I couldn't get the grill cover off because we had
You
too
didn't
many
have
things
any
to pop.
room in that blind?
You should have seen how many things we brought.
Yeah, when you go to the Taj, you just bring your whole deal.
We brought a couple truckloads of things with us.
You might
so.
just stay there. It's so nice.
Yeah, hey, so they're over here plucking some birds. He has plucked all the feathers off of a teal and left a single wing on transport with birds. If you got like hunters in, we've got hunters in the farmhouse on the other side of this building right now, and those guys leave with birds. They got to have a wing on it for identification. You can have double bag limit, right? Daily, double on possession. So if they leave three times, yeah. So when they leave tomorrow, they can take 3 times bag limit with them, but they got to have an identifier on it. Ooh, and gizzard. There's a gizzard. You split that thing, take a little bit of that blue skin off, and it is some of the most delectable meat. And then the little heart.
The heart.
Oh my, the heart is so good. Like flavor that you can't. Yeah, yep.
A little bit of flour.
Throw you in some flour.
You bet.
We gonna bring those dogs back in the picture again or no?
Oh, boy.
Porter's doing good over here too. He's having a problem with pin feathers. It looks like. Some of them just don't like to come out this time of year. What are you gonna do with this big gray duck?
I don't know. I have some plans for it later.
Also looked out on breaking wing bones.
Talk about webfoot a little bit.
Yeah, webfoot. Talk about webfoot a little bit. How long you been doing? How long?
10 years. Webfoot's 10 years now, right? 10 years?
But you and I have been out here doing
You and I've been
this
doing
since
this
we've
for 27 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27.
26. 26. I was 11.
27.
This might be 27. Yeah. Yeah, that might make sense.
Over 25.
Yep, absolutely over 25. We can come to an agreement there. Yeah, no doubt. We came out here. We had 4-wheeler trails to each other's houses. We had Blake Turner with us too, and we had some ridiculous blinds back in the day. And I don't mean ridiculous good; they were terrible. We had milk crates and T-posts and chicken wire, and we planted cane. We planted cane. That is where our blinds are now, though. Back 25 years
25
ago,
years
the
ago,
cane
yeah.
is thick.
That's the 148.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it grows all over the place. We spread the world.
That's
Just
so
like
terrible.
every other invasive species in Southeast Texas. Spread it around, brother.
Yeah, my wife's planted some shit around our pool.
Only
I'm quite
you
sure.
can spread invasive species.
I'm sure that shit's gonna be growing all over Southeast Texas for long. I'm pretty sure my great grandmother might have brought the tallow tree here because there's a tallow tree on the family
You have to
land.
give me a dry
It's-
square,
That's
babe.
112 feet fucking tall.
That's a grand champion.
We're gonna cut that thing and count the rings one of these days.
Well, mine are wet.
It
Smoke
was a
dog
morning
always
it was a
has
morning of
cigarettes.
wet.
Unless they're wet.
It was a morning of wet squares for sure.
Hey, Tilda said, "Don't fucking move." Because I told him all morning. I was like, "Don't y'all fucking move. Don't fucking move, motherfucker.
Put your fucking face
Don't
down.
you fucking move." That's Scotty. Scott. Well, I was like, "Don't you fucking." Poor Scott couldn't even shoot because I wouldn't let him move.
Look at the hit on that boy.
Brad and I'd bring people hunting back fucking 20 years ago, and those people would just look like nervous wrecks because Brad would just be, "Don't fucking move, don't look at them," and they didn't even know where the birds
Did
were.
they fucking shoot him though? Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they were in their face.
That's it.
That's the
Get the fuck
As soon as you
down.
feel like you're being an asshole, they pull the trigger and they forget all about it.
oh yeah. Every
I'm not
time.
being an asshole. I just want to make sure we kill ducks because it's a lot of work and time.
You're
And
being an asshole.
That's no joke.
I might be an
Brad,
asshole,
what?
but-
And when did we start getting ready for this year?
oh my god,
May, June. I mean,
every year, all year.
yeah, no doubt. There's not much
It's a
of a
full-time
gap.
job, and you got to have a strong woman at home. I can tell you that much.
And this, I was talking about how this is the.
You got to have a strong woman.
This was the. Mom was mad because I took a shower this morning. I guess I was a little too
You
loud.
don't have a shower at the other end of the house.
No, she put our shower right by our bed. That way, if I have to shower in the morning, she knows. We were talking about pushing water around in November, like how we never have to shuffle water around. Well, now, I mean, to open in the morning, we got a gusher, but
It was crazy. We went from 100 inches of rain,
yeah.
to no rain for 3.5 months, and it just that high set on us and dried us out crazy.
Yep.
But luckily, we had what water we had, and now we have too much water.
It'll go away. It'll go away
Yeah.
quick.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
they just finally got rain.
Did they?
They needed it. That's where we're going in December.
Were you going to Haskell?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Haskell. Go shoot some specklebellies. Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Ranger Creek.
Go.
Ranger Creek.
Give a little shout out to that Clovis Point group I went with last year in New Mexico. Colin dude was cool as could be. If anybody ever wants to go out to a place in New Mexico, they're like one of two outfitters out there, and they got birds. They got Canadians, mallards, cranes, good stuff.
We need to go do that too.
Yeah, and quail everywhere. Ooh,
Beautiful,
pretty,
beautiful, beautiful morning.
pretty work, Matt.
Beautiful morning.
Ranch, did you shoot you a duck this morning?
See, he had a single
Or
shot
did you
for
just
quite a
sit
while.
there and
So let me tell
fucking hey,
you,
brother?
So you weren't here for the first segment of the podcast. Let me tell you, I shot a few times, but I had somebody, and I was trying to remember who, so I could motherfuck him by name. But it was somebody that gave me like 3 or 4 boxes of Monarchs.
Definitely wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
They
I know
were not
for a
going through that
fact.
870.
They
very
would
well.
not cycle through the old faithful.
All guns.
dude.
Yeah, obviously the shell.
It was
terrible
ripping the
guns.
brass
Some
off of it. Like my ejector was
like
like
grabbing it,
ripping
ripping
the
it.
brass
So you
off
just
of
switched
it.
over to a
So
box
I
of
knew
double
it
box
wasn't
shells?
like a problem with the ejector
Clean
because it
shells,
was
not
trying
rusted,
to pull it out.
Clean shells.
So then he had just a box of Remingtons or something, you
I
know,
love that Benelli.
core locked, and I
Love it. Love it.
put them in there and it started cycling. Yeah, we had some good shoots. You know, I'm pretty blind. But
He can't see much.
tell you
I
what-
still make it happen
I tell you what my dumb ass did the other night. I was drinking
On
some.
the 870, huh?
I was pumping on some Miller Lights
every time, man.
and I ended up buying some Fiocchi Gold.
Most won't.
It's a shame. I told him, I was like,
Hey, that shit thumped this morning. It kills them dead.
What shot number?
Number 2s, Bismuth Fiocchi Gold, money.
money.
I found a bunch of those 2-4 stack things just that I bought a long time ago. I don't know if they even sell them
are good,
anymore. Yeah. Yeah. No, these are what are those?
Are they stacking them too now?
What were those ones last year? The black boxes. Migras.
Yeah, Migras is good
I
stuff.
like
The
Migras.
2-4s are money.
Yeah,
I like
shot
the
that
White
all morning.
shells.
Yeah,
I,
two
that,
fours are good.
that
Babies,
carbon fiber
yeah.
Benelli Super Vinci is money, buddy.
It's a good shell, a good shotgun.
As long as I just shoot right at the duck, not try to be a dickhead and lead it by 3-4 inches for no good reason.
Just put it on that gun.
Watching here, no little shout out. Watching Ramsey Russell's shot pattern shots on his Instagram posts as cool as could be, and noticing that you don't need to lead a bird nearly as much as That pattern's going out there quick. I'm glad he posted all those.
Make you a better shot.
I don't know. Maybe think about it at least.
Made me a better shot. Hell,
Shit. Anything helps Rance.
Kelton, did you tell everybody to stay off your grass this morning?
Yeah.
I bet you didn't.
His truck didn't get stolen this morning, so that's a plus.
Still shot him.
Yesterday I rode out to.
Still needs a little
Kyle had 8 decoys because his dumb ass took off to the blind and decided, no, well, you just took off, didn't talk to nobody, and still shot a limited ducks with 8 decoys this morning.
Hell yeah.
So it just tells you,
Jenkins Farm,
sometimes
buddy.
little spreads work.
As long as you're where they want to be, I don't think it really matters.
Scott, did you have a good day?
I hunted with Brad, so I got my
Did you get the fuck down and not look at him?
sat the fuck down. I didn't.
Good. That's all you needed to do, man.
But they were crowding, right? They were like crowding Scotty. And I grabbed Scott. I pulled him over to him. I said, Jackie, get your ass over here. I said, your asshole's sitting right in his face. Like, give him some room. You know, he's like, that's the whole time. And I kept saying, get down, no fucking move. Well, fucking Scott couldn't get down because everybody's up against him. He had no room.
Gonna have to give Scotty some room.
Let the man shoot.
Boy, got enough
Nobody
for all
put Scotty in
y'all.
the
God
corner.
almighty.
What kind of is the pits down there? I've got it one of these days. So I'm eventually gonna ride down there.
I told you 100 times.
It's about 7,000 miles down south, though. That's the problem.
Hey,
And
this
I don't leave
motherfucker
this little.
used to pack his bag to come see me, and he lives
Absolutely.
18 minutes down the road.
Yep,
He thought
absolutely,
it
I
was too
would.
far.
Oh
He
my
goes south
god,
of
dude!
10.
I got you bring lunch, a couple cases of beer.
Well, beer's fine. We never eat.
Goodness, it's just so close yet so far away.
Yeah, it's pit blinds. A couple skids, but mainly with pits in the marsh in the back. So,
Oh yeah, smashing on them.
yeah, it was good. But maybe I've been spending 100% traffic that whole I'm hunting. But it's up right next to the salt marsh. It's freshwater marsh. It's right up next to it. And, I mean, usually it holds good numbers of ducks. But, man, there's just traffic. It's been really good. It's been saving my ass, really. I've had some really good shoots past 2 Saturdays out of it. No complaints.
Great opening morning.
Yes, it was a very
Cool to start the
fantastic,
season.
fantastic opener on both sides. Really turned out really good. I'm
Took my
impressed for the
9-year-old
amount
down
of
to that
birds. we've
south
seen.
side the other day with no blinds on the north side hunting at all. And we killed 4 the first morning and 5 the next morning. With the 2 of us. Him shooting a youth model 20 gauge. I'm not positive that's neither here nor there. We could have absolutely killed, smashed on him, throttled on him last weekend. With nobody shooting on the north side. So there's a good amount of birds.
That's a badass spot, though. The Franzine's a badass spot. We've wanted a spot right there, and that thing holds good water.
We're going to get on this mallard hunt one of these days.
Yeah.
We're going to put together
Yeah.
this pen raised mallard hunt deal one of these days. It's to come. You'll be watching our Instagram. I don't know which one, but just be watching.
Yeah. You're going to run that one. I'm not.
Damn it.
Hey, Kelton, you want to say something? You want to say something to all your sponsors out there?
Kelton's about like Joe on a podcast.
Man,
Shut up. It's just typical Kelton.
Kelton doesn't say much. He's a damn good duck guy, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he is.
always.
hey, Kyle, you hunted.
You shouldn't have said that now.
I was being sarcastic.
Kyle, you hunted the 148.
No, he hunted the flats.
You hunted the
Old man
148.
flats.
Did the pit blind hold?
He don't know because he said it rained so goddamn much.
Yeah,
the water
that's it.
came up.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Quentin, you want to tell us about your hunt?
Hey, come over here, Q.
Come on over here.
Yeah, come on
Come
over
on.
here, Q.
Kyle.
We need to-
Kyle,
we need to
come
put
here.
him on play.
Hey.
Come on.
You ain't got to sit here and watch
Yeah,
us.
you're the gentleman that do all the killing.
Babe,
Shit, I got to give up all my good spots to y'all just so y'all can shoot them.
I'll get you beer.
I'm running traffic, and you boys are shooting them. God almighty.
Shooting them.
We're going to start
y'all-
trafficking all kinds of stuff here before long.
Nothing.
It was good. I don't know if your patch job held because it was raining cats and dogs the whole time.
I'm glad Quentin came over here and represented some actual webfoot apparel
I had to buy
here.
my own
No,
apparel,
neither of us have
Wet.
any of
I'm
our
wet.
shit on.
I was wet.
That's what happens when you buy your own. But
Yeah.
Bullshit.
It ain't got the black and
What? I didn't tell you to do that. I always tell you, give your shirts to me and I put it on.
Because my people can't do black.
My shit's better than you should have gave it to me.
One of these days, I'm going to
here,
break
Brad,
that
here's
embroidery
5
machine I've
shirts.
got out. It's going
Here's
to be
5 shirts.
on
Anyway.
one day.
Do you sell the shirts, Brad?
No.
We can't even
So
get
look,
them.
I get like 500 caps a year, and they're gone, and that's about all I do. So if you get one, I got
man,
like
come
30
on,
in my
you
truck right
might get
now.
you a
So
cap.
if you're one of the 30 lucky, come get you a cap.
Yeah.
But you got to come hunt with me
You
to
gotta
get
come
one.
early in the season.
I ain't shipping.
I got a
I
label
got a
printer.
few
What do you
spots in
want out of me?
December, guys. Y'all give Justin Jenkins a ring.
Get that shit by fucking Western Union fucking horse and buggy if I'm sending it.
Hey, I hope one of y'all has a torch because Porter keeps passing me birds. And
Just
So
the
we
pin feathers.
do
we
have
might
a
need an
torch.
acetylene
I was
torch
looking-
to burn
I
the
was
pig
looking
feathers
at
off
this
these
side
sons of
of the
bitches.
that side. Matt's got it going on.
I'm doing all I can.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, my Uncle Leon used to save all his birds so he could have an excuse to
Porter
have
was
me
over
over to
here
the house.
thumbing those birds in the asshole the whole time was the problem.
Hey, if I left a
that why he's
single
been sitting down
fucking
the whole
feather on
time?
these sons of bitches, he'd send them back to me.
Thumbing
Clean 'em
bird
again.
asshole.
And so typically, if you want to hunt, you got to get in touch with one of my guides. We stay pretty busy. We do have some stuff available, but
This year's pretty solid.
Yeah,
but if you
yeah, we-
call
yeah,
in
we
the
do have
off
some
season,
stuff,
like
yeah.
get on it early.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me your number.
yeah, 832-514-9073, and send me a text
Brad
or leave me a
Daniels.
voicemail.
Yeah.
because I get a lot
get
of
back
phone
to you.
calls. But
He screens his calls even for me, so don't worry. I mean,
no,
it's not
that's
that
that's
big of a
totally
deal.
opposite. That's totally opposite.
My phone wasn't on me, man.
It's dead. It was dead.
It was somewhere else.
Straight to voicemail.
I'm not a fan of this microphone. I'm giving it.
I gotta share Brad my location because that'd just be easier. Rance can find me now. We don't even have to conversate because I'm the worst about trying to find. But if you just know where my phone is, I'm usually somewhere near it.
I guess I need to start
I'm gonna do that right
where
now.
you're at.
That's what I'm doing right
way I
now.
know where you're
sharing
at.
Brad my location.
But I may not want to know where you're at though.
No, I want you to know where I'm
Okay.
at.
Okay.
That way you can come. You keep creeping in the middle of the night.
Instagram's webfoot addiction, webfoot_addiction. We got an Instagram, we got a Facebook you can look up. But I've got guides: Kyle Hathaway, Kelton Graham, Quentin Evans. Give these
Quentin, you wanna
guys
give your
a
number?
ring. They're on Facebook, and these are the guys you're going to want to get in touch with, and me too. But if you really want to get on a hunt, you're going to have to get in touch with one of these guys. They're the ones that handle most of the stuff for me. I'm kind of as private as I can be, but I still take you hunting. I'm just real expensive.
I create the habitats. Don't call me. I don't answer my phone ever. At least I'm consistent.
Mine's usually dead.
Brand damn new, dead.
My phone's
What's up? Where's
usually
these
dead.
Modelo's at?
Yeah, I'll take one.
Hey, yeah, what's up with one of them old
Rings was good.
half?
You're gonna have to have a
Half
Miller latte. 'cause
tweed.
We're down to
So,
one Miller
when
latte.
we were
and
coming
one
out,
Modelo.
when we were coming out of the back, the D6 was probably holding
out of
about
beer.
400 or
We're
500
gonna have to
birds
do
in it,
something
but they were
about that.
scattered in there, which was good. And they didn't even jump. They didn't want to
I
get
can
up.
start drinking this thing.
And the
raw
ranch was
egg.
good. It was all traffic though. But I mean, they were
plenty.
coming
There's
behind
teas.
us, but they really started coming out of that salt marsh.
148 was. It was crazy early on. They passed through. They didn't. I could have hunted without decoys.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to roll through. They wouldn't check up. It didn't matter.
Same this morning.
Call, none of that.
When you have a north wind, and that's the weird thing about any
that
blind.
faces north. You know?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
saying.
when
Same.
in
I
your
was
face,
facing
you'll
north.
still smash them.
No doubt, but it's just it changes.
Come on now, Ethan.
It changes the way. No. It changes the way a bird goes into land.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It matters at that damn line.
Yours.
Oh, I can tell you
Yes,
100%.
Yes.
There's no water behind it. There's no. I mean, they
Yeah,
go to
but
curl and they're going to land away from you. It's no big deal.
You shoot 'em in the
But you
ass.
got to 100%. We were shooting him in the ass a bunch this morning.
Shoot him in the ass. You just gotta wait. For
I shot him in the ass more because I had to win the same way.
We were lucky that they didn't
Yeah.
have a clue that beaver dam was there.
I did
And
have
they-
shit decoy, and I had some big ducks pull off that would decoy. But this morning, like if they came and did this and looked at you, they weren't putting their feet out to sit. They were just coming to give you a look. So I mean, you just shot them on the roll. You
Yeah,
know?
no doubt.
I think that's what everybody
how it
did.
was.
Yeah. That's what you did, Kyle. They decoy.
I mean, I had 8 decoys. So I
They
did what I
weren't
had to do.
decoying.
your own damn.
That's your own fault, buddy.
Yeah, that's on you.
But like the difference is on like that H spine when you're facing south with the north wind.
Well, yeah, it's money.
It's money. They're fucking landing like they're
But
just.
but on the 148, when the wind's in your face, it's smash. because they're going to come right over your head and
We've
over
been
that
doing
cane.
for, 20 something years in that exact spot.
Because Eli gets so mad at me. He'd be like, the wind's blowing right in my face.
I don't know if y'all know this,
I don't
but we
care.
used to
Go
have
in
it.
there.
It was Brad's blind, Blake's blind, and my blind.
Yeah.
And my blind on the H levee was so bad. It was so miserable. Like, it was just... We put so much effort into just being terrible.
Yeah, but you could stand on the levee on that thing when
You
they're
could stand on the
going to
levee
shoot them, though.
in a orange T-shirt and shoot ducks.
I think times were different.
It was
This wasn't that
ridiculous.
damn
It wasn't
long
that
ago.
long
The problem is how bad the hunting has gone to in a short period of time. Like, it's not bad now, but it's not.
Sure,
what it
but
was.
I've
think it's
said
bad. I
for a
think it's
long while
pressure.
that the damn flyway's changing. I don't know. I haven't
I
hunted
think
a bunch out
pressure.
west, but
Pressure. They go
I think
nocturnal.
pressure, yeah. A lot of birds are going on.
Ducks
Everybody's
come off
talking
the
about it.
reservoir and go straight to it
Yeah.
as soon as shooting.
so I guess I haven't even talked about the place at all. Like, so we have about 5,000 acres here. There's a 175 acre reservoir. We have at any given time an additional 400 acres of water that just stays wet. Just our fields that stay wet that have the ability to hold depth of water.
Yeah.
And then the rest is pasture ground and field, like
Few rice field. We got the
rice
rice field
fields
north.
and
I
all
bet that
that,
thing
yeah.
makes money right now. If y'all got a half foot of rain.
But there's water running over the road everywhere.
Oh, you know what?
Tractor might be in the bayou.
Rance's tractor might have slipped off into the
Might be in
bayou.
the bayou.
You got insurance?
Yeah, he's got insurance on that tractor. It's a 94
Yeah,
model.
Dad.
Of course, it's still got insurance. The warranty's still on it.
Some bitch only in 2010.
He's
2000.
6 more payments and he's got it paid off.
So, Kyle, where were your ducks coming from?
Every which direction you can think of. There was no sense of
How
direction.
many guys you had this morning? 5?
5.
Was it real wet in there?
So, what is this bullshit? So, what's going
So
on
I
here?
was done at like 7:15 with, I only had 3 guys, so it was quick. This guy here, there won't be a bird in the flat
Are you
tomorrow.
really trying to talk shit to me right now?
Did you walk your ass into 148?
No,
Or did I?
I'm the reason that you got here.
That is true. I only got here because my boy, but you're still like 10, so we love you though.
No, there wasn't no sense of direction.
Did,
Opening
did all
days.
y'all shoot them early this morning?
Everywhere.
It was the first 15 minutes was silence.
Yeah.
It was wild. The first 15 minutes. And again, I'll give a little bit of the credit to clouds and rain, but it was, I could see, we have this popping lights on the inside on. And as soon as we killed them, I was like, oh man, it's way brighter outside than I thought. There was still nothing flying. Waited. And it was every bit of 10, 12 minutes into shooting time. And then it was just 148, H.
You probably could hear them.
I could hear we could hear every single,
Nothing
yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
They'd fly through, but they'd fly through at Mock Jesus. And
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
but
they were
They'd still be
moving.
50 yards out. And
Yeah.
we're not going to call the shot on that. I mean, even if they were 30 yards, they'd just fly through and they'd be gone before you could ever call a shot.
Yeah,
They
we
wouldn't
had
set
some
up.
came through
They
so
They
fast.
just weren't doing it. They were just so in a state of shock this morning that, like, they didn't know what the
They
hell.
were also in the
see,
state of Texas.
The teal were like that
but, I
for
mean,
sure. But
I hate
I
opening
had big
days.
ducks that just did me nasty on the back side of my
we shot one
blind.
big duck.
Oh no shit!
I had I think I only shot like 9 or 10 teal. The rest of it was all big ducks.
I think we
Gray ducks, pintail,
we
and
shot our limit. And
whistlers.
We had one spoonie, and that poor soul just.
What was your bad
and,
count?
yeah,
Just
whistle
wanted-
spoonbills.
But that was it.
Whistlers, teal, and like 3 other big ducks.
Yeah.
We need to in the next segment get into this what teal season is going to be next year and what it should be.
Yes,
What
for
we've been
sure.
proposed versus what it should be. Because I got a lot to say about that.
I got a whole lot to say about that.
Brad will go on for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't even want to get me started.
I'll take a little hot break real quick.
Yeah.
All right, Justin.
Back again.
Back again.
Yeah.
Me and Matt are back on
Got
it.
done
We-
cleaning all those birds we hammered on this morning.
Yeah.
Hey, look at there. We got everything bagged up.
Oh, you ought to see the other bag.
Clean,
It's got the
beautiful
hearts and the
job,
gizzards.
But
Yep.
we'll get the job done to make it to the house. Send some birds up. Oh.
Just one more time, thank you, Justin, Brad, for letting us come and hunt with y'all.
Absolutely.
Hey, if somebody would throw in the comments, for real, if somebody would throw in the comments their, like, legit plucked duck recipe. My grandpa used to make it one way, and that's the only way I've done it for forever. So if anybody's got a good one that, like, has worked out, I'd be willing to try it, see it. right?
And if
use
not,
use this.
Quentin.
Y'all drop in the comments. Drop your duck recipe.
Yeah, man. Drop your best duck recipe. I don't give a shit.
we like
Drop
recipes.
every one of them.
actually, what we'll do, we'll make a clip of that, put it, because the reels get more.
Sure.
And we'll just post this.
Sure.
So, everybody, Justin wants to know how to cook a
I
duck.
want to know how to cook.
he
I want
can't
y'all.
cook
I
a
want to
duck
cook. I want to know
at
how
all.
you cook your duck. I cook a damn good duck. But I want to know how you cook your duck.
Medium
All
rare.
right.
How you cook your duck, Shot?
Fast and furious.
But anyway, going on to just a couple of questions, and Brad, Justin, y'all been doing this a
I got
long
a question.
time.
Who's got those lung darts?
Kilogram does.
Bum, dude, bum.
I need a beer. Someone bring me a beer, please.
First one of the day, man.
Anybody got a Miller?
Can we get
Delight?
Can we get a beer over here, please?
It's,
a Miller
it's noon
Delight,
on the
maybe?
dot,
Reciprocate,
man.
Justin.
Hey,
You got
I
the
got
cook.
you.
Oh,
Oh.
never mind, Justin.
Never mind. Or Modelo.
Shit.
Oh, look, he's got a Miller.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Look
you,
at
sir.
this.
Anyway, Brad, I just wanted to. Being in Southeast Texas, the weather here can be very volatile during our seasons, depending on if we're going to have a cold season, if it's going to be hot, like right now. I mean, opening of big duck season, I'm wearing a bathing suit,
For sure. I was in my underwear.
You wore underwear today while you're hunting. Like, is there anything like, and then it ends so early before it gets cold here. Like, I just kind of want to pick your brain on, like, what you would think
We've said for forever it'd be cooler if the season was pushed back a hair, but I've also been notified that the birds pair up when they go back north, and we can't hunt them too long on the ass end. But we get so many birds in February.
I just kind of want to hear what your ideal, situation is, or if you think that what we have right now
Our
is
big duck
ideal.
season's solid just because of the ecology of it, but our teal season
Our teal season's, Our teal season
is where our big, cool flush birds.
yeah, for sure. But what were you talking about, though, at first? What were you asking?
Really just your ideal living here. Like, is there anything that you would like to see?
If you could make the season, right? If you could set the dates
Personally.
and say, hey, here's what's the most
Just from your
prosperous for us.
experience of, hunting for.
So, for years, November's always been a really good a month for us. Always. It's usually really good in November.
We get a weird December lull.
Yeah, you get a December lull, you shoot some geese, and you have some good hunts here and there. And then January, you get a big push of green wings, and you get some fresher pintails and shit like that. And then it usually finishes really strong. Right now, we're seeing ducks and we're killing ducks, but I'm not seeing the birds that we typically see. And honestly, I'm glad we got this rain. We got real dry for a little bit just to freshen everything up. But
We'll see some
I think
cool
weather
moist
has a
soils
lot to do with it, but weather doesn't. I've been shooting ducks on this coast for almost 30 years in 75-degree weather. It's just our weather we're here. We just need weather up north. We need something up north to happen to push these birds. And we usually, we used to get all these big front lines. Think about all these front lines you used to get. You see a front line and you'd see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
When's the
Remember
last
Brad said the
time
pump?
in the past few years have you seen a front line, just a black front line? You're like, here it comes.
Like a
Blows
movie,
through.
like movie scene shit,
Yeah.
like
And how many
Independence
of those
Day.
did you get a year
rains
when
for
you were
30,
duck
45
hunting when
minutes, it
fronts were
clears
coming
out.
in?
It's beautiful.
I had it
They're
happen
everywhere.
to me in 2017, but it almost felt like a fluke thing. Felt like one of those once in a lifetime deals.
You
where
remember
I'm
that one at
sitting
the
there
pump
and
shed
watching
that day that
birds.
rolled over the top of us, and it rolled like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my
It's
entire
cool.
life.
Sitting there
Rolled
and I'm
over
watching
us.
birds, and it feels like something out of a TV show, where I'm like, man, I've seen this before, but I was like, we killed our birds so fast. We shot a 4-man in like 14 minutes. And then after that, it was just we're sitting there in amazement watching them spiral down from the heavens.
From high.
They're
from high. You
coming
know they're
in-
migratory.
They're coming in off that
migratory.
north wind
Migrating
without
birds.
flapping a wing, right? And then they're starting to see the wetlands, and then they just
Yeah.
come out of. The
And you just don't see those. It was normal to see those happen all winter long. Even in October,
Like 3/4
you
inch
start seeing
rains.
them. Yeah,
Not 14-inch rains or no rain.
yeah. What y'all have? How much rain y'all get? In
6
farming?
inches.
6 inches this morning.
So let me ask you this, Brad,
Crazy.
Justin, both of y'all. In my limited experience, and I've been hunting for about 10 years, kind of on my own, where I wasn't, with my dad or something like that. But of those 10 years, not a lot of that was really focusing on, why are we having success and all that stuff. Not until probably about the time I turned like 22, 23, I'm starting to say like, okay, well, starting to pay attention to conditions and all these other things and being more observant and not just going out there and hoping I kill birds, right? So in my 10-year experience, I feel like and again, I haven't been like collecting data over the years, but I feel
We
like
have.
year,
We have, and that's what's
year after
awesome. We've been
year, and
really.
I think this is kind of going back to Porter's point. Like year after year, it almost feels like the winners are pushing further and further back.
If we get one.
If we get one, that's the thing is if we
right.
get
You know,
one.
it seems like those
Better
cold
for
snaps
winter
are
and
happening
cows.
early December.
Yeah.
You know, and we're sweating our ass off in November, and we're thinking, what the hell is going on?
Well, and it's not that we're not getting a winter; we're just getting a super late winter. Like I know, what 4 years ago in March, it was like March 14th. I was at work and we had 4 inches of snow. Or it's just
weird weather, which is normal down here. But
it is.
still.
And that's
There's zero consistencies above us. What pushes our birds to the coast?
Yeah.
I mean, what ducks we're getting right now are ducks that have imprinted their babies to this area at this time of this year, and that's what we're hunting right
There's
now.
a consistency in like
Shooting
a
a lot
lot
of-
of
a lot of adults
of
are being shot
the
right now. How many
day
young
of
birds are being
October
shot
when
right
we
now?
start seeing speckle bellies, and the day of August or late July. That last week of August, first week of September, we start seeing teal. And that's what I'm worried about, teal season getting cut down to 9 days. We get a narrow window there.
That's kind of what another topic I wanted to talk to y'all about was the teal season. If it gets changed.
It's a narrow window that we have already, and to make it narrower, I mean, it could be to where bird number bag limit could be brought down to 4 instead of bringing our days down to 9.
So yeah, let's jump right into that with the teal. Seems like, do you think that it's more of a that we have a lot of success being down here on the coast, that the teal like to migrate through here, that we feel like there's more teal than there actually are? Is it the numbers that you think are driving that?
Their numbers.
Because I feel like season long, teal are our most predominant bird.
All season. That's our
that's what
numbers
Texas
birds.
has.
That's how we get numbers.
And
I mean,
most of
even
our birds
all through
are
big duck
teal.
season.
For sure. I mean, green wings, blue wings, teal season is 99.9% blue wings. But like on them wanting to go to 9 days,
We'll never kill a green wing in teal season again.
yeah, for sure. But them going to 9 days is bad. Is a bad deal because you got to understand these blue wings are still coming through the way they're coming through southeast.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Texas
it change. I haven't
to
seen it decline.
southwest
I mean,
Louisiana,
I
the
know
way
the
that
numbers
they
tell
are.
the tale.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it decline.
Well, so they're doing May counts. They count these blue wings in May in the Dakotas and in Canada. How many blue wings are on the Gulf Coast of Louisiana and Texas in May? I can show you thousands. They're saying there's 100,000 birds missing on their bird count for them to go to the 9 days, saying we're missing 100,000 birds. Your 100,000 birds are down here, and there's way more than that in May. There's birds that are pair up here in April and May, and they'll be here all the way into the first week of June, and then they'll head up north.
They could
make
cut our
babies
teal
and come
number
right
to
back.
4 and add in a single wood duck and a single squealer.
Yeah.
Make the 6 still.
Look, and
They should add anyway.
for being a guide, I know you're really needing every day that you can. I mean, that's your
It's too
livelihood.
expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Way
We
too
put a
expensive.
lot of
And
money
9
into
days.
this.
I mean, you got to think about habitat too. For the past 20 years, we created this,
And it's about making habitat.
and the guys that are saying 9 days that do this, you got to understand there's spots that are being hunted for blue wings, and during September only. There's habitat being created just for those birds to come through that 30 days, and that habitat will not be there because the average man will not be able to afford it.
Yeah. No, for sure. And look, they're saying 9 consecutive days that they want to hunt, but if you're going to move it, I would assume, being a guide, you would want it to be weekends. Why don't they just do it 3 weekends in
We don't
September?
week hunt
Friday,
to
Saturday,
keep the
Sunday, Friday,
birds
Saturday,
around
Sunday.
Anyway.
Because I
I
know it's a
agree.
lot
I mean-
harder to fill guide spots during the week. Most people work.
We do teal season though. We do hunt.
Yeah,
we hunt multiple.
we stay busy during
weekdays.
teal season.
Yeah.
But I mean,
because
it's
it's
a
only a
pilgrimage
short.
in
It's
this
a short.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those birds are gone anyway.
You
I
understand?
mean, it's-
You understand? They're not just going to be affecting, the habitat and the birds. You got to understand how much the economy thrives on the amount of people that come to the Louisiana and Texas coast
you're short
just to
thinking
chase
about
these blue
people
wings
that
for
are able
16 days. We got 16 days. That's it. Hey, drop it back to 4 birds and no one's ever going to
cut the guy that wants to
yeah,
bring his kid out.
that
there
was going to be my
out.
next.
Go to 4.
My
He
next
can't
thing
afford to
was
bring him
why
and his
don't they
kid out
just
there.
instead of 6?
They consider
make
days in the field, on harvest, and that's where they're pushing that. But you just give us 4. Give us $4, 4 blue wings or 4 teal during teal season, and no one's going to have an issue. But y'all need to come do counts
Make it 3 teal,
on the
a wood
coast
duck, and a squealer.
because no one's doing bird counts on the coast. Who's doing bird counts on the coast? Nobody.
No, nobody.
squealers
That's
every
what I
year.
actually wanted to. Dude, I definitely do think that they they need to open up a squealer season.
A squealer, yeah, or just add it. I'm telling you, add it to deer season.
That's something like you said, they don't
They
count
just keep
on
piling
the.
up. I mean,
sure.
and they're neighborhood birds. They'll go
They're
hang out in the neighborhood and get fed, then they'll fly out around here, and they're just going to keep populating.
It was unreal. They were everywhere this year.
Brad moved down to a neighborhood down in the south of Chambers County 10 years ago, 12 years ago, wherever that was. And in the course of the time he lived there, I'd never seen birds just be so, wild birds just be so in the community. Just shit piles of them.
Justin,
Just
so I
didn't
work like on the river, and like those ships will tie off, and it's like 100 feet of like, tie off rope and shit like that, and they're acting like gulls. I'm talking, you can't put another like on the Natchez River.
Shit.
Like, it's so funny. It looks like blackbirds on a power line.
And then that's
down
another
there.
one. We had talked about bald eagles at the very beginning of not seeing them when I was a kid. We didn't have squealers here when I was a kid. We didn't have squealers when I was a kid. I remember Dave Wilcox. We were riding around one day, and I went, "Oh my God, what is that?" And he said, "That's a fulvous tree duck." Never in my life had I ever seen one. I was probably 12, 14 years old.
Thought it was a skinny chicken, huh?
Yeah.
Long-legged one.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this real quick: I know that we've traveled a little bit to go and hunt birds, and just being in the day and age that we are now, you see a lot of outfitters open up, and they seem like nowadays they kind of come and go. A lot of I don't know if I should say they're riding the wave, or maybe they're just trying to make an extra buck. But you get a lot of inexperienced. And I hear more and more stories every day about people having bad experiences with guides, and but I feel like like Jenkins, and you guys have been here forever. You guys have
We're creating a habitat, man. And it's habitat for hunters, a habitat for birds,
we can get away
a habitat for
with,
people,
right.
man.
And so you're habituating birds and healthy
Relationships and
relationships
environments,
for
and
birds to come in
everything.
here.
Everything can coexist.
And for you to also
We don't
succeed,
weekday
right? So
hunt.
It's a mutual thing for you to create these habitats for
Absolutely.
these birds to come down so that you can then succeed. Has anybody ever reached out to, and I mean like government entities, the people that are polling these birds, and said like, "Hey, we want to come to your property and we want to have eyes on it, or we want your feedback"?
Nobody's ever reached out, but man, I'd sure like to participate.
Never.
So
I would 100%
the point that
participate.
I'm kind of getting at is
I got a lot of open mornings.
is that there's
I don't have a
there's-
real job.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's called living the dream, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I farm.
American dream.
But it's not a real job.
No, you're retired in 2021,
I'm
dude.
retired.
Retired.
Yeah, when
You're
he
like,
graduated
"Oh,
college.
the point that I'm trying to make is that that all these numbers are being taken, and like now, for example, we've just come off of the presidential election, right? And you hear all this stuff about these polls, right?
Sure.
You're like,
You ever
who
get
the
polled?
fuck do I know
You
that's
ever
ever
polled
taken
once?
a poll?
I never
right?
got pulled.
So exactly, and I
Pulled
know
in
there's
Mexico one time. That was a whole
guarantee
different
you
deal.
There's tons and tons of listeners right now that are thinking the same thing. Like, I don't know anybody that's ever taken a damn poll. So, like, are they like? Do you think that they could benefit from having?
Yes,
game
statistic
and-
numbers. Statistics. And that's what like Brad, I make sure that he keeps all of our shooting numbers and all of our per weekend numbers and everything. And it's it's numbers for us, but I think over the course of years, we'll be able to really put together some cool ass data. And I'd willingly participate in counts. I would no shit go sit and go count and keep a count on. We started having big flocks here 3-4 weeks ago, and I'm not joking. If it weren't for the bald eagle, they'd have been big chilling. But there were a lot of birds, and I'd have loved to go get an estimated count on that.
Well, it almost
when they
seems,
got
it
here,
almost
what-
seems like
That way the data could be across the board. I mean, if we
Right,
could
right,
all
right.
participate in it,
it almost seems like a wasted resource, right? When you have these guide services that are well established in the area and they know how many birds they have to not poll them.
Sure,
not
and
say, hey,
exactly,
let's-
and
let's go
participate
reach
in
out
a-
to the local resource.
has it been worse or better? Right,
Right, and see what they're seeing.
Boots on the ground for real.
Yeah, but you can do that, and you need data for sure. But like in these outfitters, I mean, it's season to season. I mean, you never know. Some years are better than others. Some guys, 3 miles down the road will whip them all season, and you'll have a slow season. I mean, it's
There's
just
a
kind of part
whole
of it. But
about-
like the habitat deal, yeah, having it. But I mean, it's like this area on outfitters. I mean,
There's a whole 4 miles from here, just right up there that Mickey Phelan and them hunt, that they shoot wood ducks and mallards out of like it's Arkansas.
I know. I find it
crazy.
And we don't see them
You
4
been there? I
miles
haven't been
right
there.
here.
Yeah.
Get the
So
fuck
habitat
outta here.
differences.
got-
It's
God
right there.
almighty.
It's right fucking there. We can hear them
And
shooting.
they
I know, I
shoot
find
nothing
it.
but green in it.
I know.
Crazy.
So what all I mean by that is the
I've
ecology
hunted.
of changes.
We shot a shit ton of wood.
Yes,
Well, we
sir.
shot our limited wood ducks
Whatever.
there.
I love wood ducks.
Oh, dude, the best
Love
eating.
wood
And I
ducks.
mean, just
Yeah.
the videos of them just falling in, it looks like a damn timber Arkansas hunt.
Yeah.
It's in Hancomer, Texas. If you're, what do they call that?
Handcumber.
Cottonwood, Texas.
Hey, and if you're a listener now and you don't already realize this, we all want to conserve this resource. And have the
Absolutely,
most
man. I want this to go.
Absolutely,
I've got a
100%.
9-year-old little boy
That's
that
it.
is eating alive with it.
And full circle, and I think you talked about this at the top of the episode. You know, Ramsey Russell, he made a lot of great points about this is completely out of my realm personally, but like safari hunting. There's a lot of people that have a problem with that, but it brings a lot of value to the region and a lot of value to
You
the
ask
animal.
Fred DeBeer, that guy would tell you that he got elephant problems like we got pig problems.
But you're talking about resource. Okay, money. People are paying to go shoot these big game hunts. You know how much money is being spent on habitat and duck hunting on the Texas-Louisiana coast? It'll blow your mind.
Yep.
It'll blow your mind. So
Restoration
all that
project
money
numbers
is coming
are
through here like this. What's the
unfathomable.
difference? I mean, why aren't we trying to do something? Nobody's doing shit. They're really not. We are. I mean, there's other people that are. There are people that are putting their money where their mouth speaks, and they're creating
I
habitat.
don't know how
they'll
much
never
money
hunt
I
it, you know?
put
No one's doing
into
that. It just
creating
costs too
habitat
much.
just for passion, pure passion. We
Sure.
we talk it through, and we go, okay, what are we going to do with this field? It's hundreds of acres, and hundreds of. What are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with that? How are we going to snake that? What are we going to do with this?
I
And
think,
it's purely to create the best habitat we possibly can.
I think Jeff Coates sent me a Snapchat every single day this week of him working on ponds.
Absolutely.
So
That's it.
let's think about that for a second. You know, myself as a blue collar guy, you know, and I know that they tell me my tax dollars are going towards, or not my tax dollars necessarily all of them, but like
Sure.
when I go and buy my hunting license and my stamp and all that, a portion of that is going into wildlife restoration, right? What does that mean? What work is being done in the emergent marsh and the coastal
I
prairies?
have faith that they're putting it into
You know, and you think
wildlife
about that,
refuges, but they're
right?
not putting it in any private land stuff.
So you put
That I
in.
can see.
What work is being done
On this
You know what I
5,000
mean?
acres, Ducks Unlimited years ago came in and helped us put
Yeah.
our pumps in the 90s, and we had some contract stuff with them, and then ever since, it's just.
It's
I'm not
disappeared.
saying it's crickets.
We're growing up.
We also haven't been
DU
looking.
projects all the way
But-
from here all the way to the coast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there was DU easements all the way through.
That
and they
175
pulled
acres
out
that we
98,
already don't
never came
hunt.
back.
Yeah, I've got to hunt like 2 different old DU projects
that
on Smith
175
Point
acres
and
used to
off
be-
1985.
Those are gone though. Like
Yeah,
there's and it's the whole place. You see DU project signs everywhere.
Used to be all
There's
around
no
everywhere.
such thing.
I wonder why, and maybe I kind of feel like the Southeast Texas coast is definitely the redheaded stepchild of the
Absolutely.
waterfowl game.
Absolutely.
Especially after traveling, I've hunted Oklahoma and Kansas, Montana, North Dakota, you know, and seeing that shit up there, you know, to down here.
Projects. I'm sure. I haven't hunted all the way up there. I'm sure there's
But, yeah, it's
established projects.
Yeah, we're paying
There
for
are,
it.
you know, and they have a cool and interesting way that they're doing it. You know, now they're getting more young people involved with college projects and stuff like that, and they have just
Need be.
an army
For
of
that
people
college money
throw
needs to
at
go.
it. But you know, it's just like I said, from my perspective, it's nice to think that they're using our dollars, and they say that they're using our dollars, but you know, you want to see like, okay, like what. And I'm not by any means trying to shit on DU.
Not at all. Yeah. I don't
we
want this
don't
to
know.
sound like that
And
whatsoever.
that's just it. We don't.
But I'm
it's a
curious
lot of
myself.
hearsay.
I don't see
We
any of
are.
it down
we
here.
don't know. There's nothing that's showing where any money is going. I mean, and there may be something
In my,
you know, and be able to look.
My
and see
first
where
rice
money's
crop
going,
went in the
but
ground in
No one
2008.
talks about it.
Well, I just know we've been hunting the public land, the public marsh around here for
You longer than me, and
Yeah.
in my 10 years, it's been the same marsh every year. Like, and I guess it's just more for me a matter of seeing it and saying what's different, because like
And you're active, and you're obviously not seeing it. I'm active. I'm not seeing it. You're
I'm
quite
out
active.
there
bro.
a lot of the time in public, and you know, in the season when it's open. And I'm
Brad's
not,
talking
there's
about
no
opening up a
change.
different
And
division
I'm
of
wondering what this
Earth.
conservation is. We talk about it and we say, oh, we're putting money back into conservation. Okay, well, what is conservation? To me, it seems like for DU at least, that they're just roping stuff off and holding it. You know, and they're saying, okay, well, DU is going to acquire this asset and just no one's going to hunt it, and we're just going to hold birds there. And that's all it's going to be. We're not
And
gonna
to
do
me,
really
that
anything.
There's
kills
nothing wrong
migration.
with those
That's
types
all
of
that
areas,
does.
though. There's nothing wrong with having places that
No,
never get hunted.
you definitely need
You
that.
you need
You
to
need
have
a
But
lot
the
more
natural
of those,
migration,
correct.
those
There's
birds
nothing
never
wrong with
had
that.
human interaction before that. Those birds never had human interaction, so their natural migration pattern
Well,
is to go past
yeah.
there.
Yes.
And if you fill up a field full of whatever the hell you do with it, and they don't go past there, you're quashing the natural migration that brings birds to the coast.
But there's 3 or 4 different big outfitters around here, including y'all, that like will have designated areas for
Absolutely.
birds
Absolutely.
to
Oh, yeah,
rest,
have
to
to.
do
Oh, my
whatever.
God.
You're crazy.
Don't
if you
touch
don't.
it.
I
No,
mean, you
yeah.
have to.
Got to have habitat for them to just be
Somewhere they
them.
never get shot at.
I'm going to ask you something now, and I just want you to come off the top with it. First thing that comes to your mind, or as quickly as you can think of your answer. With the state of waterfowl hunting now, and as trendy as it's gotten since the conception of Duck Commander and all the social media and everything that's kind of driving it now, and you're getting a lot of new young hunters, a lot of guys that are inexperienced, but you got a lot of guns out there, right? So from north to south, those birds are getting beat on.
Pressure.
What do you think is the solution to sustaining a sustainable migration pattern for the birds?
It's a hard
There's-
one to answer.
I mean, there's really no.
There's no way to kill the want to and the drive, and that's cool
Yeah,
too.
you want that. That's your future.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
future of the business, the future of the hunting, it's
That's
the future of the
another thing, like,
conservation.
what are the number of hunters out
There's
there?
nothing wrong with
How many
the
duck
having
hunters?
the
How many
new hunters and
licenses?
stuff. That's what you want. You know, pressure is pressure. You know, and it's been happening for a long time. You got to think. 100 years ago, those guys would go to a pond down on the coast. They go shoot 1,000 birds
In
one
flannel.
spot, and the whole deal was, they'd shoot a spot out. So it's not like it hasn't been happening for a long time. Right. It's just, what happens is you've lost habitat. So everyone gets smaller and smaller in the areas that you can publicly hunt. The private areas, people who are having leases, the fields of people that used to farm that aren't farming
We've
anymore.
been
It's
pretty
just
lucky.
lack
We've lost a
of that
little
or
bit of
development.
We've lost a little bit of
development
in
is
Chambers County. We lost on the west side some old rice farming acreage to development, but I don't how many birds were ever
Development
right
is the driving
This
force,
gut
right?
up
Is what's
here,
going on
up
in the
into the
past 20
China
years,
Marsh
I
and all
think.
that until it starts getting consumed. It's fine. But when will that be?
I think development's the driving force.
Yeah, and and y'all, people don't think about like everybody's jobs and they're building, and they definitely don't think about
Anything.
what
besides
what
money.
y'all.
And I
yeah,
get
they're.
it. It's a
Talk
business.
about
I mean,
it
look
all
at Mount
summer long.
Bellevue,
How many
you know
more
what I mean?
years of this do we have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more years? of
The
this
way
do we
they
have?
keep.
And it's a sad thing to talk about.
For sure. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, it's development and ever existing change.
My opinion on it is that ducks they're very resilient.
Very.
And if you think that ducks are going to migrate and act the same way they did 100 years ago, you're out of your
1,000 years
Oh,
ago,
yeah,
10,000
no,
years
everything
ago,
was
these
different.
birds have been
Not even
doing
that. I
this
mean,
for
they're
a
migrating in different
long
areas, different
time.
flowers.
If you shorten the period and you say 50,
Our only
I
little
agree.
history that we
well,
know
25 years
exists.
ago, you're out of your mind because
You think teal weren't migrating 1,000 years ago when we weren't here?
So the amount of change that we've seen in ducks' behaviors, your ability to work birds in and do all of that with the advancements that we've had in our decoy realism, our patterns, and our calling and everything.
We're really good at killing. Maybe less hunters, but we're a
And,
lot better at killing.
You got to get good at it.
If you want to strip it down to bare bones, like we as a human race have evolved and adapted to kill everything.
Yep.
So that being said, what do we need? We need more habitat to create more ducks.
Well, I think what I've seen in like I said, ducks are resilient, right?
Sure.
Do you think that naturally a duck migrating from the north down to the Texas coast, do you think that their first choice was to go and raft up 2 miles off the coast?
No, not necessarily.
not
You got to
necessarily.
think about floodplains. I mean, these birds are flying down waterways. I mean, a lot of these flyways are off of major river systems and landmarkers.
The little
There's certain
bios. I mean,
landmarkers these
just the
birds are
little
flying
bios,
off
the
of.
waterways
but,
in general.
But when you're up that high, you see these waterways, and that's what those birds are flying. So I mean, certain areas are wet one
That
year.
blind we
That's where
hunted
those
this
birds
morning.
will go. You
I
know?
was saying the only visible water that there is that one big pocket that I created.
Yep.
So, whether it's creating habitat to shoot them or whether it's creating habitat to keep them, you got to create the habitat.
You got to have period. You got to have both.
Now,
really.
have you guys noticed? I don't know if you guys do any fishing.
A little bit.
Do any offshore fishing?
A little bit.
Here.
Notice a lot of times when I go offshore that I see just piles and piles and piles of birds rafted up off the coast. And I can't help but think to myself that probably isn't where they want to be. I think that's
Salt
it kinda
water
seems
is not drinkable.
Kind of seems like they're hiding from us. You know what I mean? And that to me speaks
They
to
gotta
the fact that
either
they're
keep going
the
south or they-
resiliency of
Sure.
saying like, hey,
I don't think those birds.
Butterflies travel
you got
from-
a lot of birds migrate that Gulf of Mexico, and you can go down to High Island in September or right now. I mean, you can go to High Island in the mornings. You can sit right off the coast,
they keep going.
and you can watch those birds come
butterflies
over
cross
out of that marsh off that intercoastal and shoot out towards that Gulf, and then go and head towards Mexico. That's just a that's just a landmarker.
You think they go
and the
down
birds
the coast,
that are
you think
coming
they fly
further,
the coast and know the coast?
they
You think
fly
they
it
cut
all.
across it.
They do both. They do both.
I think of a lot of birds that we hold rest out there.
A lot of the bays. Our bay system, no one ever really hunts it much, and a lot of ducks do raft in there. You'll get teal, gadwall, pintails get out there heavy.
We've shot more greenheads, and like our pintail numbers have been cool for the last decade, but more greenheads in the last couple of years, randomly.
Yeah, we used to never shoot mountains.
Never.
I mean, every once in a while, but
Not like we have in the last couple.
no, not at all.
And that hadn't been by weather.
No, it's just birds.
That's what
that
makes
are-
you think.
Just, well, I mean,
Just
they're
on our
all
number
mixed up
tallies and all that
through,
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Well, supposedly mallards are the most populous of the migrating ducks, correct?
Correct.
That's what everybody
So-
wants.
70
But
or
it
80
seems
million of them or
weird that,
something.
like, I mean,
I don't know,
we've
that might be
seen-
higher.
I mean,
Well, yeah, we don't care. We just
hey,
want
I'll
the
tell you
next duck.
something else though that just flips this whole conversation on its head is when you go up to Arkansas and Oklahoma and you see people actually starting to create loads and loads of farmland just for ducks, not for the purpose of farming, right?
Right.
And you're up there. I went up there in conservation season 2 years ago.
Makes you wonder where they made their money.
I wonder. I'm like, man. I said, dude. I was like, man. I just came from Southeast Texas coast, and we ain't got no birds, But I go up to Arkansas, in conservation snow goose season, and this is months, but week or two after we've closed, and there's just piles of ducks. They never made it past that point. I feel like may have been the year that we had, may have been dependent on the weather that they didn't get pushed down.
Guys in Arkansas, the first couple of times I went there, and all the snow geese that they say
don't shoot
used to
'em.
come here.
Yeah, everybody
They
shoots 'em.
say the damn whole coastal prairie used to be covered in snow geese, and now they just never come past a certain point.
They stay in northeast Arkansas, really heavy. That
All
area.
right. I mean, the dove don't migrate like
Well,
they
they
used to.
still plant a
When
million
you have the
acres of
valleys
rice.
full of
We don't
fucking
have that.
grain.
I will say though, this was the best dove season this year that I've had in.
We're
I
still,
can't tell
we're
you
still
how
carrying
long.
a good chunk right now.
We had a really good opener, White Wings, and then it shut down to here. But
Really, I had like 7 hunts that were just like stupid.
that's good.
I just, I feel like we, being this far south, probably have a lot more to complain about, But
In the event you're feeding birds, like again, naturally, 1,000 years ago, when it was natives that were here, there wasn't. They may have been grown. Well, they wouldn't grow.
We've just lost so much habitat.
Yeah, there
and,
just
and,
wasn't
and
any-
the average
anything
man
stopping
has just
anything.
gotten, and it's just gotten smaller and smaller. These people can hunt, and I think pressure is really killing us. I mean, everybody's like, golly, you think about it. This
Duck
county on
commander stuff
opening day,
did wonders.
there'd be thousands of birds shot on one day on this place.
Duck
That's pretty
dynasty.
wild for one county to do that. And it's just it's pressure. You can only these birds can only withstand so much. Think about how smart these ducks are now. We've made them smart.
Yeah.
we have too. And you say that like the man is not what the man used to be, but the population has exploded on the coast.
Yeah.
All the way from Katy to Houston and just Beaumont. We just have so many more people and so much less habitat. So it's just
Well, just think
it seems like it's kind of bottlenecking.
Well,
You know what
look,
I mean?
I love me some Elon Musk, but I don't know if you guys have seen that video of them down there on the coast in that beautiful, luxurious marsh that they're popping them badass rockets off at.
Oh,
It
SpaceX.
is, yeah, space. It is a beautiful piece of Mars. And
Boca Chica
I
Boulevard,
guarantee you
baby.
There's not a
It's in
duck
Florida.
within 10 miles of
No,
that place.
that's down
I mean, it's just things like
down on
that.
our
I mean,
coast.
it's just development.
Boca
It's
Chica
just the
Boulevard. That's
future.
Freddie
It's-
Brooks. Here's a little
it's,
shout out to Freddie
expansion.
Brooks.
We get smarter and
Pop,
smarter every
pop,
year,
pop.
one way or another. Especially
Y'all
with
don't know the ambassador of Cut and
just
Shoot Texas.
development. Things
Yeah.
we're doing.
We
I'll tell you that last teal that came into the decoys, he would have been there regardless of the rocket launching off or not. He
It hung out. It was just chilling with us.
ready to
That was
die.
in the decoys. It landed next to him. Then it got up and landed on the other side of the decoy.
But no, it was fun to kind of pick y'all's brains on some
absolutely.
things, man. And I'm glad we got to sit down and talk.
We're
with
just, I
y'all.
mean, we're mostly worried about the future of waterfowling in general. Being able to hunt, being able to make sure that there's habitat and places to go. Because, I mean, there's a whole other generation. Hell, there's people being born every day. And those cats got to enjoy it, too.
For sure.
you can't stop something from screwing.
I think we as,
Never.
as fathers and older men,
I think Donald Trump just stopped a bunch of people from screwing,
might have.
which is great.
They weren't.
That's how he's
they
going to make America great
they weren't
again.
able- the people that he stopped from screwing weren't able to reproduce anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all sitting with us, and thanks again, Brad,
Yeah,
Justin.
absolutely.
Thanks
Enjoyed
for
it.
bringing us out
Absolutely,
this morning.
man.
We really enjoyed our time on Jenkins.
Webfoot addiction, man.
Hey,
Yeah, webfoot
If
addiction.
you guys are looking to come and have a hunt down here on the coast,
Call
look no
Justin
further.
Jenkins.
Don't call me.
Check them out on Instagram.
We'll tag them on Instagram. Y'all check out our Instagram. Check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bayou Dragons if you want to watch the show. Appreciate y'all tuning
Cool,
in.
man. Thank
Yeah,
y'all.
appreciate y'all.
Shaved pussy.